Hey everybody, it's Randy with Cummings and Company Realtors, and today I'm here with my special guest,
Dahara.
Diara. So tell us a little bit about how you came into real estate and what was your journey.
Well, I started real estate officially last year, but I've always been interested in real estate. Back in 2019, I've actually helped my mom get her first home, which actually lit a fire in myself. And I was like, I think I can do this as well for myself. Then a couple years later, I ended up meeting Randy. Um, uh, Myra from our team was my realtor,
Yeah,
and she actually helped me with my housing process. And then next year, I just decided, hey, why don't I just go ahead and get my license? And here I am now, a
here
part
you
of the
are.
team.
Yep. So one thing we're going to talk about today is myth busting and all the bad information that's out there. So what would you say is like the number one thing, if you had to just nail it down to one thing, what would you say is like the number one thing that people just have wrong? Like they just think this, but it's not that.
They think that like when you meet with a real estate agent today, you're gonna go look for a house that same day.
Uh,
And it's not like that unless you really want to find a house that same day, then we can figure it out. But typically it takes about a month, right? The process can take about a month or so, depending on how prepared you are. So when you want a car, you go to the car dealership. So it's the same thing when you want to buy a house. Why not meet with an agent who can be able to walk you through the process?
Gotcha. And so when you meet with them, I know a lot of people are probably terrified of the idea of meeting. Just like for me, for example, when I go, you brought up the car shopping thing. I'm terrified of car salesmen. Not really, but like they can be very aggressive and whatever. I go car shopping on Sundays because they're closed, so to avoid them completely. And I just look at the cars, and that way I narrow it down. And that way, when I found what I want, then I approach them and I don't waste their time. I don't waste my time. But why is that like a terrible idea for home buy? Why should you do all that shopping and then meet with a realtor? Why is that terrible?
Because the realtor is the expert. So why not go to the expert and let them walk you through the process and help you get yourself set up so that you won't make any mistakes?
And what do you help them get ready? Like what are some of the things that you and your team are helping them get ready for once they meet with you?
We're making sure that we tell them how the whole housing process goes from start to finish. So we meet with them, talk to them about the process. We connect them with the lender so that they can get pre-approved for a loan. And then after that, we just go straight and look into homes. But between then, I like to tell buyers to make sure that they at least have some money saved on the side for down payment and for your inspections or appraisal or any other fee. So just make sure that they have some money saved down.
Gotcha. And so do I need to save 20%? I mean, that's a common myth. Do I need to have 20% to buy a house?
No, you don't need to have 20% to buy a house. No, you need I would say at least a little bit of 3 to 5% of the purchase of the house.
Okay.
So if you're getting a $300,000 house, just make sure you have at least 3,000, at least for the down payment.
Okay. And if I don't have all of that saved up, are there programs available? I hear about all these first time home buyer programs. Like, is there stuff available that can help me?
Yes, there's so many programs out there. That's why it's best to meet with your realtor so she knows what you're looking for. And I got tongue tied.
What you're looking for and like how to help you, like,
Yes.
to find a program that's right for you. Yeah, because we
Yes.
were talking with one of our lenders the other night and we were talking about like all the different programs that were out there. And there's not even like a list because there's just so many
There's
things.
so many. Yes.
Yeah, and it depends on like where you work and who you work for and how much money you make and you know.
Exactly. I just found out students, if you have student loans, you still can buy a house. There's programs for that. So
Yeah,
that's for all the students out there.
to help you pay off your college loans and everything. So
Exactly.
like, what about credit scores? Tell us about that. What are some of the misconceptions about credit scores, and kind of clear that up for us?
Some misconception, people think that they need to have like this 800 perfect credit score to get a house, and that's not true. We have mortgage programs out there that are like minimum credit score is starting at like 540. So I tell people, don't be discouraged. You don't need an 800. So
Gotcha. And when someone does come to meet with you, take us through what that's like. Like, what do you guys talk about, and how does that go? And then do you immediately beat them over the head to sign papers right away?
no, I like to test the vibe out first. Let's get to know each other a little bit. What do you do? What is your communication styles? How can I reach you? What do you like in a home? Why do you want to buy a home first off? Because let's say you want to buy a home to as like an investment property, then I'm not going to be showing you, beautiful homes. Maybe you want to flip. So I have to know exactly what my buyer wants so that I can align them with the perfect home.
Gotcha. And what are some other misconceptions that like people have that I don't even know about, that like that you've encountered? Like, they think this, but it's really this.
Um, I guess I wanted to say, people tend to want to buy in the spring, summertime,
Oh,
and not in the
seasonal.
winter. But we got to think about it. If nobody is buying in the winter time or want to buy, doesn't that mean that inventory is high? So that means that buyers actually, what's the word I'm looking for?
Have an advantage or more.
Yes, have an advantage.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a buyer's market. So you might find your perfect home in the winter. Why wait until the spring? You're going to wait in the spring, and then that perfect home is not going to be there no more because now it's more buyers, more competitive offers.
Yeah, especially if there's like a half a foot of snow on the ground. There's probably not a lot of people out there looking.
Exactly.
So you can have your pick. I just got someone under contract right before a big snowstorm, and yeah, we didn't have any competition for it. So
Exactly.
when you are helping them, so when you're helping them buy the house, take us through, like, what is it like when we're actually looking at the houses? What types of things are we looking at? And like when we're in the house, take us through like your tour.
Okay, when we walk in the house, obviously, let's start off from the outside. Let's make
Right.
sure that there's nothing hanging off on a roof. Let's make sure that the roof kind of looks new or put together. Look at the chimney. I had a mistake with chimney when I bought my house. I thought my chimney was perfect. Then it started raining so hard and water was leaking through my chimney. So let's just look at the outside foundation of the house. Um, Come inside, make sure, I guess, floors are intact. Check your HVAC system, water heater down in the basement. I don't know what else. What else would you look for,
I mean,
Randy?
yeah, I mean, you got to look at the structure. Like, a lot of
Yes.
people just look at the colors. They're like, oh, purple walls, that's not my thing, or whatever the case may be. I'm like, if you heard of paint, you can paint anything. But yeah, like you said, chimneys. Oh my gosh, yeah, chimneys. I could write a book on chimneys, and like just the dangers of chimneys, stuff like that. Like, if
Yes.
you get a good chimney, great. But if you get a bad chimney, it can just be like, a money pit, like just trying to
Yes.
fixed and everything.
Let's
And
not
what
focus so much on the aesthetics
cosmetic.
of the house. Yes.
Yeah, really dig deep and really get to know the house and point out things that, you're either the buyer or you're the agent. And even like when I buy my own houses and stuff like that, I always get second opinions from people to really make sure that I'm not just being blind to what I'm
Mhm.
getting. So that's why they have you. So you can point out things like, hey, this electric panel looks like it's going to catch fire,
Yep.
or the roof looks like it's leaking, or the chimney's pulling away from the house. That's never a good thing. You want your chimney to stay attached to the house.
Exactly.
So, when you're showing houses to people, what are some of the things, like, tell us about some of the interactions that you have with clients that are kind of like funny? Like, what are some of the things that when you're showing them houses, you wish this maybe for your client, but they have to want it for themselves? Like, what are some of the things that you've encountered while showing houses?
Well, depend on who the buyer is. I mean, I like to make friends with all of my clients. So if we going into a home and I feel like this might be the right fit for them, to just make them feel it, why don't we just role play? Role play in a house. let's see, you're coming off from work. This is the living room. Here's your kitchen. This is how you'll be cooking.
Yeah.
Let's just feel it out, make them feel like this is actually their home.
Yeah.
And
Do you
nine
see
times out of
your,
10, it works. They
yeah,
see
do you see
themselves
yourself
actually in
living
a home, and they're like,
here?
okay, let's put an offer in this one.
I was working with a guy the other day and I said, "Do you like Excel spreadsheets?" And he was like, "Yeah, I like them." I was like, "I already knew that. I could just tell from looking at you that you like," and
Right.
I like Excel spreadsheets. So I'm not picking on people that like them, but I could just tell that this guy loved his Excel spreadsheets. And I was like, "Why don't you make your Excel spreadsheet? And that way you narrow it down to a few houses and then put the Excel spreadsheet away and be like, which house feels right? Which
Right.
house feels like home? Which house do you want to come home to each night? Which house do you feel like you're safe in? And you don't have to stare at the window the whole night wondering if people are going to come inside and get you or whatever
Exactly.
the case may be. So you really have to connect with your home. So when you're connecting with your clients, I know you really have, you work on that connection and everything. You're connecting with them and you find out where they want to live and this and that and the other. How else do you find that you're connecting with your clients and really collaborating with them to make this a positive experience?
So when we meet, I ask you what's your communication style. If my client rather me text them, then hey, I'm gonna text you, and I'm gonna always text you. Won't be no issue. If you like being on the phone calls, hey, I'll call my client every other day just to check in and see how they are. Um, I'll send them new MLS search almost every day with new homes. Ask for their feedback on those homes, and if they like it, then we can go straight out and look at it. I'm really open with my clients.
Good. So is there anything else that we haven't covered? Like, is there anything else that you're thinking like, people just really got this wrong? We covered finances, we covered expectations, meetings, showing houses. How about like at the end, closing? What's it like? What's it like when you finally own that house?
Oh, it feels good. It feels good to like basically have your own home. Nobody can tell you what to do. It's a different piece, different level of peace, I guess.
Yeah, I think peace is the right thing. It just makes you
Yes.
feel like more at peace. I think that's a great way to say it. So if someone wants to have this awesome experience with you, what are the best ways to get in touch with you?
Well, I'm on Instagram, db.therealtor, and I'm also reachable by phone or email.
Give us your phone number. Good.
443-653-8511.
Great. All right. So if you want to reach out to Dahara, give her a call, reach out to her on Instagram. She's got lots of great shorts. This is a
Yes.
long, she's got lots of great shorts. And reach out to her and start that experience. Thank you so
Yes.
much for being with me today. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Perfect.